and about 60% of them are blaming President Trump.
Folks, time is up for Donald Trump. Not only are Republicans turning their backs on him now that he's becoming lame duck Donald, but most importantly, the American people are sick of him as grocery prices continue to skyrocket, and everyone knows there's really only one person to blame. The man who's so out of touch, he thinks that you have to present ID in order to buy groceries.
You go to a grocery store, you have to give ID. You go to a gas station, you give ID.
Make sure you're subscribed to Really American, and let's jump into these horrendous numbers for Donald Trump.
This as a new poll finds about 70% of Americans say groceries are more expensive now than they were a year ago, and about 60% of them are blaming President Trump.
Those with keen eyes might have noticed that this is Fox who's reporting this. Even these soulless ghouls have to admit that their Orange King is completely shitting the bed right now. Here's a chart outlining food inflation for the last year, and wouldn't you know it, around January, February of 2025, the inflation rate shot up by almost 20%, and it's just getting higher and higher. And not because of some big world event like what happened in 2022. That's this big spike here. This current increase is simply because Donald Trump doesn't understand how tariffs work. And we're getting to the point where the cracks between the lies are getting too large for even MAGA to ignore. Cara Lyon-Levitt, with lips that Donald Trump just can't get enough of, was on Poop Social yesterday squeezing out more lies like this. Trump celebrates affordability 1 year after historic election. Groceries, gas, rental prices falling. That is a great big lie, and anybody with two eyes and a brain can see it, even the MAGA morons that hang out on Truth Social. I'm going to scroll down so you can see that these are the first comments. I wish gas and groceries were really falling. It simply isn't the case yet. Gas has fallen a bit, but over $3 a gallon oftentimes. Meat is ridiculously expensive. I'm sorry to say this, Pastor Payne 76, but those prices are never going to go down. Not now, not ever under Trump. This guy says maybe actually talk to real people on Main Street instead of being KGP and parrot what your boss says. You'll hear a completely different story. My food budget for a month before Biden still doesn't go halfway through the month. Matter of fact, it's getting worse. These just keep going. I don't know where you're getting your numbers at, but there's no way on this God green's earth that this United States of America is affordable anymore, because the affordability is out of control. Rent is too high, car insurance is too high, utilities are too high, groceries are too high. It's completely off the charts. I mean, this is incredible. All of a sudden, these Trump thumpers are turning into working class warriors once their stomachs get to grumbling. I guess they realize that cutting SNAP benefits for millions of people wasn't going to put food on their tables. In fact, food is just getting more expensive. User Hottie Toddy said, groceries are high. Another user, personally, I have yet to see it, and I think a majority of Americans feel the same, regardless of party affiliation. The Trump administration, in their 1920s glitz and glam Great Gatsby party, seems to have forgotten the old adage of bread and circuses. They took away the bread thinking the circuses would be enough. Letting people just go hungry like this is probably the best way to make sure the MAGA movement is killed once and for all. Americans are truly suffering right now. I mean, who wants a leader who's putting out job numbers like this?
The jobs report new this morning. A brand new report is out. It just came out moments ago, and it shows layoff announcements hit their highest level for October in over 20 years. This will not surprise you because a key factor is AI. CNN's Matt Egan is here with me now for more on this. Look, these reports are becoming more important because there are no government reports coming out because of the shutdown. What is this one telling you? This one seems like a big deal.
Yeah, Sarah, look, it's painting the picture of a job market that is really hurting. U.S.-based employers announced 153,000 job cuts during the month of October. That is more than any October since 2003, more than during COVID, more than 2008, which is really something when you think about it. And when you look at how this compares to a year earlier, it's about triple a year earlier, about triple what was seen during the month of September. And when you look at the trend for announced layoffs, you can see they were pretty low in 2023 and in 2024, but then they spiked earlier this year. That was DOGE, that was the trade war and the tariff uncertainty. And look at this, they came down, but unfortunately they are starting to go significantly higher.
Trump's economy can be described in 3 words: tariffs, AI, and oil. We all know how devastating tariffs are, for quite literally no upside, but on top of that, his quest for oil is driving us towards war with Venezuela, while opening up billions of dollars in investments in AI for his best friends across the world. That is devastating the jobs market. Here's a recent article from The Hill. The Trump administration pushes to get AI data centers on the grid faster. We know that AI is one of the leading causes for these layoffs that we're seeing. You can be damn sure that the Trump administration is well aware of that. Trump's real goal is to rob this country blind. He was already responsible for the first massive loss of jobs we saw back in April, but that was due to DOGE, and it generally didn't set off any alarms for the market because that was considered mostly government jobs. It was going to be fine for the private sector. But this is very, very different. The victims of these layoffs know why they're being laid off, and they can see Donald Trump and his administration partying it up Great Gatsby style, and they're thinking to themselves, wait, why the hell am I losing my job and my benefits while this flabby fuck drinks champagne and gobbles down McNuggets? It's no wonder voters came out in droves for the Democrats this week. One of the winners, Virginia's new lieutenant governor, will tell you herself that Trump was definitely on the ballot.
A lot of the narrative about your victory in Virginia and other Democrats around the country was that this was a repudiation of the Trump administration. What do you make of that analysis?
I think for us here in the Commonwealth, that's certainly a very important part of it. You know, Donald Trump's policies are not popular, most especially because of the critical harms that we have seen on the ground here. Our candidates, and myself included, we ran on the issues that are impacting Virginia's families. I've been talking to constituents and Virginians for the past 20 months. The cost of healthcare has been going up, the lack of access to affordable housing, the compounding crises of losing jobs and facing issues of concern around childcare. All of these concerns have really been part of the conversations I've been having. By contrast, our opponents ran on messages of bigotry, xenophobia, scapegoating. That's not a winning message.
And the Republicans are starting to see the writing on the wall. They know what is coming for them. Now that Trump is entering his lame duck era, many GOP lawmakers are suddenly finding their balls again and squeaking up, saying that if Trump doesn't let them negotiate with the Democrats and get the government open again, they're going to go ahead and ignore him and do it anyway. Here's reporting from Politico. Retiring Republican Representative Don Bacon called Democrats' victory margins Tuesday a red flag to the GOP and blasted Trump's refusal to engage with the other party. He has zero ability to work across the aisle, he added. He needs to face reality and learn how to talk to Democrats he can reason with. The other House Republicans more quietly aired frustration with Trump's approach to the record 37-day shutdown, which headed into the end of the congressional work week with no clear end in sight. Many are privately signaling that they are prepared to break with Trump if he doesn't allow Republicans to negotiate on an extension of the Obamacare insurance subsidies that Democrats are demanding. One irate senior House Republican, granted anonymity, which I don't think should be allowed for fucking representatives, but whatever, blamed Trump and Russell Vought for spurring the shutdown with their unprecedented move to unilaterally rescind congressional funding over the summer through a so-called pocket recession. That decision is why we're in this mess, the Republicans said. It's clear why Russell Vought wanted to do it. He is one of the architects of Project 2025 and is quite literally interested in dismantling our democracy. Donald Trump is following him, and all of the House Republicans and all of the Senate Republicans are just left holding their junk, standing in the rain, looking like fucking idiots. And I don't know what they expected. Trump is a man who cannot for the life of him give a shit about anyone else but himself. Maybe some of his family members because they're extensions of himself, and of course his sweet, sweet properties that he slathers his name all over. But the rest of us, human beings, we could literally drop dead right in front of him, like this guy who fainted in the Oval Office today. He's fine, by the way. And Trump couldn't even be bothered to turn around, let alone help us. I bet you Trump was actually furious when this man fainted, because for a moment, the center of attention wasn't on Trump. But folks, it is only a matter of time before we're the ones standing indifferently, and Trump is the one on the ground because his old ticker or swollen veins finally caught up to him. I mean, imagine the content that'll come out of this channel on that glorious day. If you guys don't want to miss it, be sure to subscribe to Really American. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.